Welcome back to That's Entertainment. It was nice meeting everyone down in Cine Europe 2 weeks ago. We had a fantastic 3 or 4 days down there. This will be the final section of the trilogy of the review of the NATO report, where we looked into some of the weaknesses and strengths of that report. Digital marketing and the exploitation of audience data has never been more important to an exhibitor than it is right now, and online has become a day-to-day habit of many core cinema goers. And it will continue to become so even more as Gen Z are joined by their younger Gen Alpha contemporaries. As we touched on earlier, there are some obvious and effective ways to begin exploiting existing audience data, and the importance of regular email comms, such as the weekly Now Showing films listing, is well known, but there are many other ways customer data can be used by exhibitors. For instance, there's personalized recommendations. By analyzing a customer's past movie preferences and purchase history, the cinema can suggest movies that align with those interests. And that doesn't necessarily just have to be through email. It can also be done through advertising. A big move that many cinemas are attempting is loyalty programs. And cinemas can now offer rewards, discounts, or exclusive benefits to customers based on their sales history or other data points. And again, this is something that can be put both into an email or into a series of online adverts on Facebook or Snap or TikTok. By tailoring these rewards to individual preferences, such as offering free tickets to customers who frequently attend movies in a specific genre, cinemas can incentivize repeat visits. There's another area that's also very important, which is this concept of retargeting. It's very normal within online marketing to view the marketing funnel as a linear series of steps that a potential punter might be making. The key point to bear in mind is that people or audiences have a preference for when they feel that the right time might be to buy a ticket. In establishing as a brand and trying to move audiences through to buying tickets, it's important to understand that there are a variety of factors that are going through the public conscience of your punters. That it's not just a linear progression of seeing an ad, clicking on the ad, and buying the ticket. Those audiences might be interacting with several different social media messages on multiple platforms. They might see some outdoor from the distributor. They might then think about which location they want to go and see the movie at. And there are a whole series of steps where essentially, as an exhibitor, you can throw your advertising into that mix. And if you're monitoring your sales channel or your sales funnel, should I say, of how people are moving through your online ticketing systems to transact, there's also the potential to retarget those users so that you don't lose that opportunity, for instance, when they try and book a ticket and the front doorbell rings or the cat jumps on their lap and they forget to complete the transaction and invariably sometimes forget to go to the cinema altogether. Specialized events and screenings, analyzing customer data that can help cinemas identify niche interests or specific demographics within their audience, and social media advertising, creating targeting advertising campaigns on social media platforms, as I've already described. As industry experts in cinema audience behavioral data, Gruvi has spent over a decade developing a platform that successfully identifies and targets those social media users that are most likely to become cinema goers, and then converts that interest into online ticket sales. The Audience Project, or TAP for short, builds both on the unique data an exhibitor has on their online customers and the pool of similar customers data that Gruvi has built over the years. Simply put, your website is the greatest source of data and information about your audiences. And if it's connected up in the right kind of way to services like TAP, it will allow you to analyze those online purchase behaviors, bucket audiences around both film interest and buying patterns, and then allow you to either retarget or prospect for new audiences. Everyone right now in the cinema industry is trying to figure out how to get younger audiences back into the mix. Platforms like TikTok, like Snap, need to be on your list of social media that you are targeting with your ads. And also, if you have things set up in the right kind of way, you have the opportunity to partner with distribution and their advertising budgets in order for them to target ads to your locations more successfully, and thereby you returning the data to the studios around the actual conversion rates, which is what they're really looking for when it comes down to effective media buy. Even with prospect and lookalike audiences, where you take a custom group of behaviors that you've collected from your website and then you return to the social media, to platforms like Facebook, to then widen that audience into a bigger target group, conversion rates through to ticketing are still 3 to 5 times higher than just going out to Facebook and trying to buy ads yourself directly. It's really a gold mine. And if it can be adapted in the right kind of way, it really should be the solution that the industry is looking for: closer collaboration between studios and a better use of audience data. There is another key factor that an exhibitor needs to be very aware of in 2023, ensuring that their online presence, both in terms of the website and their digital comms, is fully compatible with mobile devices. As the number of cinema goers buying tickets online continues to grow, so does the proportion of those customers buying their ticket via a mobile device. While it varies from exhibitor to exhibitor and from territory to territory, the percentage of visitors using a mobile device to access a cinema website, as opposed to those using a desktop or laptop or tablet, already represents a significant majority. In terms of actual tickets purchased online, the percentage of customers using a mobile device is even more significant, ranging from 62% to 95% of customers. Therefore, it's really, really important, if you're considering upgrading your website, to ensure that you're building for mobile web experiences. This year has also seen the return of variable pricing and dynamic ticketing to an exhibitor's marketing toolbox. In March this year, Paramount released 80 for Brady in North America, with stars that included Jane Fonda and Sally Field. The feel-good comedy's appeal to an older female demographic was obvious, and to encourage this, audiences to attend that on the weekend matinee screenings that have appealed to the most, Paramount and various exhibitors offered discounted ticket prices. The promotion was a great success, resulting in the extraordinary fact that 80 for Brady debuted at number 2 despite actually selling more tickets than the number 1 box office movie that weekend. Some exhibitors have also been trialing dynamic ticketing this year. In the US, AMC set different prices for the same format seats in selected screenings, with a range of prices determined by the line of sight towards the screen. And while the trial drew some criticism from the public and the media, AMC were quick to point out that the proportion of tickets remained significantly cheaper than others, therefore offering their customers a range of prices to choose from. In conclusion, if there is one single thing that we believe that can benefit the exhibition and distribution sides of the business, it's an industry-wide study into the nature of online cinemagoers' consumer habits. The only detailed bit of research that I've seen was the moviegoers report from 2010, done by Stradella Road, and it's a great source of information around online behaviors and how people change their movie-going habits based on stage of life factors like parenting or being younger. But nothing has really been done in recent years in terms of the consumer habits around online ticketing. And as we said earlier in this study, it's rising. It's becoming more prominent and more important for cinemas to take notice of this. Therefore, we need to understand more about the online consumer, particularly when we understand that they are 44% more likely to upgrade to a premium screen format and 2.1 times more likely to buy concessions. We have a request to put out to UNIC and to NATO in future reports and to help answer some of these questions. For instance, what triggers someone's interest in visiting the cinema? And what process does an individual go through before deciding upon the film they want to see? What influences their decision on which performance to attend? And what influence do those people potentially accompanying the ticket buyer have on the above decisions, which is key? What role do various social media platforms play in all the above? Because it's not just Facebook anymore. Kids are on everything but these days. And how can we interact and influence any or all of the above? That's all for this report. Any comments, questions, or ideas, please feel free to post them below. And if you've got your own research or your own, or you come across articles that help answer any of these questions, do send them over to us. We consider everything, and we'll probably end up making more of a show about it. Thank you. Bye-bye.